Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am VC Pramod and with me is Nishit Kumar with the evening news. The headlines. Modern COVID vaccine granted permission for restricted use in country. Over 33 crore COVID vaccine doses administered so far. Country takes lead in vaccination. National recovery rate improves to 96.9%. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar says international cooperation is answer to COVID challenge. India raises issue of drones being used for terror activities at United Nations. National Investigating Agency takes over investigation of drone strike at Air Force Station in Jammu. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says Narendra Modi government committed to deregulation of Indian economy and ushering in systemic reforms. Monsoon session of Parliament to be held from the 19th of July to 13th of August. Facebook India and Google India summoned to appear before Parliamentary Standing Committee on Information and Technology. In women's cricket, India to take on England in the second one-dayer in Taunton tomorrow. And in Europe Cup football, England to take on Germany and Sweden to clash with Ukraine tonight to secure berth in quarterfinals. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also to help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these three simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news. Union Health Ministry today said that the country is registering a continuous decline in daily cases of COVID-19 and further increase in rate of recovery from infection. Addressing media in New Delhi this evening, Joint Secretary in the Health Ministry Love Agarwal said that continuous decline in daily cases is being noticed since India reported a peak with nearly 414,000 cases on the 7th of May. He said now almost 91% decline in daily new cases has been noticed since the highest reported peak in daily new cases.
पिछले 24 घंटे का डेटा लें तो पाते हैं कि मात्र 37,566 केसेस देश में रिपोर्ट हुए हैं। जो रिपोर्टेड पीक थी देश में उससे 91% केसेस में हमने डिक्लाइन नोट किया है और हमने पिछले एक हफ्ते में 17% डिक्रीज इन एवरेज डेली न्यू केसेस रिपोर्टेड देखा है।
Mr. Agarwal also informed that till the 4th of May, there were 531 districts in the country which were reporting over 100 cases daily, and now the number has come down to 111 districts. On recovery rate from the infection, Mr. Agarwal said that the country is also witnessing a consistent increase in recovery rate. He said on the 3rd of May, the overall recovery rate was 81.8% and now it has reached the mark of 96.9%. On testing of samples, there is continued focus on testing while a sharp decline in cases is being observed. He said currently tests of COVID-19 on average is being conducted on a daily basis as the cases are on a decline. He said there are currently 565 districts in the country where the case positivity rate is less than 5%. Mr. Agarwal said till 3 p.m. today, India had crossed the vaccination coverage of 33 crore mark. He also informed that in rural areas, the vaccination coverage from the 1st of May to 24th of June is 9.72 crore doses, which comprises 56% of the total vaccination, while in urban areas, the coverage stands at 7.68 crore doses, which is 44%.
हमने 33 करोड़ का आंकड़ा भी इन टर्म्स ऑफ नंबर ऑफ डोजेज उसको क्रॉस कर लिया है। पीपल अबव 45 इयर्स ऑफ एज उनको 19.57 करोड़ डोजेज फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड डोज मिलाकर, पीपल अबव 18 टू 44 इयर्स ऑल्सो जिनको 9.1 करोड़ डोजेज फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड डोज मिलाकर दी जा चुकी हैं। देश में अब तक टोटल फर्स्ट डोजेज की कवरेज 27.27 करोड़ है और सेकंड डोज में भी 5.84 करोड़ डोजेज अब तक दी जा चुकी हैं।
Mr. Agarwal also informed that India is taking a distinct lead in total vaccine dose administration in the world. He informed that whereas the US took 193 days to reach the 32 crore mark, India took only 163 days to cover it. Niti Aayog member Health Dr. V.K. Paul is informed that internationally developed Moderna COVID vaccine has been granted permission for restricted use, commonly known as emergency use authorization in the country. During the media briefing, Dr. Paul said that an application received from Moderna through its Indian subsidiary Cipla has been granted permission. He said this potentially opens up a clear possibility of the vaccine being imported to India in the near future. He said with this addition, the country's vaccine basket will be richer as 3 vaccines, Covishield, Covaxin and Sputnik V, are in operation.
There must be other formalities that they have to follow, but a very important licensure has been now given. So now there are 4 vaccines with such licensure: Covaxin, Covishield, Sputnik and Moderna. So our vaccine basket is now richer by this addition. As we have informed here, our efforts to invite and to have other internationally developed vaccines, specifically Pfizer and J&J, also continue. Those processes are on, and also we are looking forward to increased production and availability of our own vaccines.
Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan reviewed the preparedness for prevention and control of vector-borne diseases in Delhi today. The main focus of the meeting was geared towards the elimination of malaria from Delhi by 2022. Dr. Harsh Vardhan emphasized the need to make malaria a notifiable disease so that each and every case could be tracked and treated. He said this issue was taken up with the Delhi government last year as well. Reminding everyone that Delhi is a Category 1 state for malaria elimination, Dr. Harsh Vardhan said Delhi had originally planned to eliminate malaria in 2020 and the deadline has now been shifted to 2022. On the critical step of making malaria notifiable in Delhi, he explained that capturing actual data from hospitals and taking preventive actions in the areas of infection is critical to achieve elimination. He said 10% of all fever cases need to be screened for malaria so that no case can escape detection. To encourage the administrators, the Union Minister said India's feat of achieving a reduction of 83.34% in malaria morbidity and 92% in malaria mortality between the year 2000 and 2019 has been acknowledged by the WHO. The central government has provided over 31 crore 83 lakh COVID vaccine doses to states and union territories so far. The Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry said that more than 78 lakh unutilized COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories to be administered to beneficiaries. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said that international cooperation is the answer to COVID challenge, be it vaccines, medicines, PPE or oxygen. Addressing the G20 foreign ministers meeting at Matera in Italy today, the minister said institutional multilateralism has been found wanting. He said reforms have many forms, but vaccine equity will be the immediate test. He added real economy needs decentralized globalization, including in manufacturing, food and health. The minister stressed that resilient supply chains must develop in parallel. Dr. S. Jaishankar discussed taking bilateral relationship forward with his Italian counterpart, Luigi Di Maio. He congratulated the Italian foreign minister on the successful G20 foreign ministers meet in Italy.
Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has allocated 100 crore rupees for procuring liquid oxygen and for the preparedness of the third wave of COVID. In a statement today, he said that under the Chief Minister's COVID Relief Fund, he had received 353 crore rupees. The Chief Minister told that 41 crore rupees were allocated for procurement of oxygen cylinders, concentrators and life-saving drugs for treatment of mucormycosis. The statement also said that an amount of 50 crore rupees was allocated for procurement of RT-PCR kits and also for purchasing remdesivir medicine. In Meghalaya, 4 COVID-19 related deaths were reported in the last 24 hours, one each from East Khasi Hills, Ribhoi, Southwest Khasi Hills and West Jaintia Hills districts, bringing the total number of COVID fatalities to 831. A statement from the Directorate of Health Services informed that 489 recoveries were also registered. The state also logged 378 fresh new COVID-19 cases. Till date, the total number of confirmed cases in the state stands at 49,161, out of which 4,263 are active, while 44,067 are recovered and 831 deaths.
The News Services Division of All India Radio, in its bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta Series, will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19 tonight. Dr. Rajesh Malhotra, AIIMS Delhi, will participate in the live discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the expert on toll-free number 1800-115767 and on telephone number 011-2331-4444. You can also post your queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates. India has raised at the UN the issue of drones being used for terror activities. It came days after explosions at the Air Force Station in Jammu with the help of low-flying drones. New Delhi said being a low-cost option and easily available, utilization of these aerial and subsurface platforms by terrorist groups for sinister purposes such as intelligence collection, explosives delivery and targeted attacks have become an imminent danger for security agencies worldwide. This was stated by Special Secretary in the Home Ministry V.S.K. Kaumudi while addressing the second UN high-level conference of the head of the counter-terrorism agencies of the member states. He added that the possibility of the use of weaponized drones for terrorist purposes against strategic and commercial assets call for serious attention by the member states. He said it is high time that the international community calls upon Pakistan to take effective, verifiable and irreversible actions against terror outfits operating on the territory under its control.
The centre has handed over the investigation of the drone strike at the Air Force Station Jammu to the National Investigating Agency NIA. An NIA team led by Rakesh Balwal was among the first at the scene of the twin blasts in the high-security technical area of the Jammu airport in the wee hours of Sunday. Low-flying drones were used to airdrop improvised explosive devices inside the airbase. 2 Indian Air Force personnel sustained minor injuries in the explosions. However, the blast did not cause any damage to equipment or aircraft. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that the Narendra Modi government is committed to the deregulation of the economy and ushering in systemic reforms. She said what India needs is transformational, not incremental changes. In an article in an English daily, Ms. Sitharaman said that the economy welcomed the breath of fresh air with the liberalization of 1991. She recalled the political will of the then Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao and the then Finance Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh for liberalizing the economy 30 years ago. The Finance Minister wrote, during his first term, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ensured the weeding out of 1,200 archaic laws and discarded 58 more in the second term.
Various industry bodies have welcomed the steps taken by the government to boost the economy and provide relief to the various sectors. Yesterday, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced a relief package of over 6,28,000 crore rupees. Senior Vice President of FICCI, Sanjeev Mehta, has welcomed the announcements made by the government to support the economy. He said focus of the new measures is well placed. He said the emphasis on the COVID-affected sectors was the need of the hour. He added that these steps would alleviate the stress amongst the affected sectors, including the MSMEs. Another industry body, CII, has also expressed happiness over the slew of measures taken by the government to provide thrust to the economy during the COVID-19 pandemic. President of CII, TV Narendran, has said the liquidity-boosting measures to keep the enterprises afloat in the aftermath of the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic in the form of extending loan guarantees to healthcare, tourism sectors and small borrowers are welcome steps. While ASSOCHAM said 6.29 lakh crore rupees package will act as a lifeline dose to various sectors, enabling faster recovery of the economy.
The Cabinet Committee for Parliamentary Affairs, CCPA, has recommended that the upcoming monsoon session of Parliament be held from the 19th of July to the 13th of August. Our correspondent reports CCPA met last week to finalize the dates. The government is likely to bring in a number of bills in the upcoming session. There will be a total of 20 working days of Parliament during the span. A vaccination drive is in place in Parliament for the members, their families, parliamentary staff and media people.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Moderna COVID vaccine granted permission for restricted use in the country. Over 33 crore COVID vaccine doses administered so far. Country takes lead in vaccination. National recovery rate improves to 96.9%. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar says international cooperation is answer to COVID challenge. India raises issue of drones being used for terror activities at the United Nations. National Investigation Agency takes over investigation of drone strike at Air Force Station in Jammu. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says Narendra Modi government committed to deregulation of the Indian economy and ushering in systemic reforms. Monsoon session of Parliament to be held from the 19th of July to the 13th of August. Facebook India and Google India summoned to appear before the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Information and Technology. In women's cricket, India to take on England in the second one-day in Taunton tomorrow. And in Euro Cup football, England to take on Germany and Sweden to clash with Ukraine tonight to secure berth in the quarter-finals. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
The centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The child helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. Ayush COVID-19 counselling helpline number is 14443 and MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with beneficiaries of Digital India on the 1st of July via video conferencing. The program is being organized by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology on the occasion of Digital India completing 6 years since its launch by the Prime Minister on the 1st of July 2015. Digital India has been one of the biggest success stories of New India. It has enabled services, brought government closer to citizens, promoted citizen engagement and empowered people. The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Information and Technology has summoned Facebook India and Google India to appear before it today. The committee will hear the views of the companies about safeguarding the rights of the citizens and prevention of misuse of social or online news media platforms, including special emphasis on women's security in the digital space. This comes days after representatives of Twitter appeared before the panel to discuss India's new IT rules and how to stop the misuse of the platform.
The Delhi police has registered an FIR against Twitter on the basis of a complaint from the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, NCPCR, citing availability of child sexual abuse and child pornographic material. The case has been registered by the Cybercrime Unit of the City Police under relevant provisions of the Indian Penal Code IPC and the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences POCSO Act and the IT Act. Minister for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Nitin Gadkari today called for creation of rating system for MSMEs and dashboard for effective monitoring of MSME schemes. Addressing a webinar by Chamber of Indian MSMEs, he said simple and transparent methodology should be evolved to give ratings to MSMEs to enable them to get finances from the banking and institutions. The minister said the whole world now wants to invest in Indian industry, and with effective rating system, MSMEs can get good investment from abroad.
Ports, Shipping and Waterways Minister Mansukh Mandavia today inaugurated the loading operation on the maiden voyage of coastal shipping service Green Freight Corridor 2 from Cochin Port to Baipur and Arikal ports. The Green Freight Corridor service will connect Kochi, Baipur, Arikal and later Kollam Port will be added to the service. The vessel will call at Cochin Port twice a week and will feeder Exim and coastal boxes to the ports of Baipur and Arikal. The government has now extended the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Kalyan Ann Yojana for 5 months, that is July to November this year. Further allocation of 198.7 lakh 8 MT food grains have been made under the PMGKY 4 for July to November. Lifting of food grains has been started by 8 states: Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, Odisha, Telangana and Tripura. Over 1.06 LMT food grains have been lifted till yesterday.
The centre has expedited capacity for fortification of rice to increase from 15,000 metric tons to 3.5 lakh metric tons by incentivizing and creating awareness among rice millers. To address anemia and micronutrient deficiency in the country, the Department of Food and Public Distribution approved centrally sponsored pilot scheme on fortification of rice and its distribution under public distribution system for a period of 3 years beginning in 2019-20. With a total outlay of 174.64 crore rupees. It is currently implemented in 6 states. Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh and Uttar Pradesh have started distribution of fortified rice under the pilot scheme. Kerala and Odisha are likely to start the distribution shortly. Approximately 1.73 lakh metric tons of fortified rice has been distributed till May this year under the pilot scheme. Atmanirbhar Krishi app was launched by the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the central government today. The Atmanirbhar Krishi app was created to equip farmers with actionable agricultural insights and early weather alerts, data related to soil type, soil health, moisture, weather and water tableware, aggregated and analyzed to generate personalized insights related to crop selection, fertilizers requirements and water needs for each farmer at the farm holding level. President Ramnath Kovind said our real success lies in developing the nation and society on the principles and ideas of Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar. The President was speaking at a function of laying the foundation stone of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar Cultural Centre in Lucknow today. He recalled that Baba Saheb used to emphasize on equality and reiterated that Bhavatu Sabmangalam means goodness for all, which is what the present governments are doing. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that Bharat Ratna Dr. Bhimrao Memorial and Cultural Centre Lucknow will further popularize the ideals of respected Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar among the youth. He lauded the Uttar Pradesh government for taking the lead in this effort. Earlier in the day, President Ramnath Kovind has laid its foundation stone. Pune and Bengaluru have retained their first and second positions in the latest rankings of top cities in India, where All India Radio live streams on News on AIR app are most popular. Chennai has displaced Hyderabad to take the third spot, and Hyderabad has slid to fourth position. Bhopal is the newcomer in the top 10 list at 8th position, while Lucknow is out. Vivid Bharati National ranks top in the rankings of AIR streams in India, followed by News 24/7 and AIR Malayalam. In major changes in rankings of top AIR streams in India, AIR Pune has moved 3 positions, up from rank 7 to rank 4. In quite a significant fall, FM Rainbow Delhi has slipped from the 5th to 9th position. FM Rainbow Kochi is the new entrant, while FM Rainbow Mumbai is no more in the top 10. More than 240 radio services of All India Radio are live streamed on News on AIR app, which is Prasar Bharati's official app. These All India Radio streams on News on AIR app have a large number of listeners not just in India but globally in more than 85 countries and 8,000 cities across the globe.
The Sensex and the Nifty today closed with modest losses. Both stocks fell around 0.4% amid negative cues from other Asian equity markets. A report from the Business World.
The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange lost 186 points or 0.35% to close at 52,550. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange also fell 66 points or 0.42% to finish at 15,748. In the Forex market, the rupee weakened marginally by 4 paise to close at 74 rupees and 23 paise against the US dollar. Gold was trading at 46,800 rupees per 10 grams. Silver prices also declined 440 rupees to trade around 67,700 rupees per kilogram, and crude oil prices rose marginally. In intraday trade, Brent crude prices were trading around $74.80 per barrel. Lalema Aneja Dang, AIR News.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the last few days have witnessed stupendous performances by Indian archers at the World Cup. He congratulated Deepika Kumari, Ankita Bhakat, Komalika Badi, Atanu Das and Abhishek Verma for their success, which will inspire upcoming talent in this field. In women's cricket, India will clash with host England in the second one-day international match, which will be played tomorrow. The match will be played at the Cooper Associates County Ground, Taunton, England. The day and night match to be started at 18:30 IST. The hosts are leading in the three-match series 1-0 after winning the opening encounter in Bristol. In Euro Cup football, England will take on Germany and Sweden will clash with Ukraine tonight to decide the quarter-final lineup. The three-time European champion Spain will face Switzerland on the 2nd of July. Belgium will take on Italy and Czech Republic will lock horns with Denmark in the quarter-finals on the 3rd of July. At Wimbledon, two-time champion Andy Murray recomposed himself to ensure his return ended with a dramatic 4-set victory over 24th seed Nicolas Bailashvili. In the women's section, former world number 1 Karolina Pliskova battled back to defeat Slovenia's Tamara Zidansek 7-5, 6-4 in the first round.
With around 23 days remaining for the beginning of the Tokyo Olympics, All India Radio brings a special series on India's medal prospects at the Sporting Extravaganza. Today we'll focus on wrestler Vinesh Fogart.
As the first Indian woman wrestler to win a gold medal at the Asian Games, Vinesh Fogart dreams of listening to the national anthem standing on the Olympic podium. Her golden period started from 2019 when she won gold in the 48-kilogram weight category at the Glasgow Commonwealth Games. Her success in the international arena became a recurring aspect of her career ever since. Her dream to win a medal in the Rio 2020 Olympics did not materialize due to an unfortunate knee injury.
सब लोगों ने let go कर दिया कि अभी तो इसका खत्म हो गया. फिर मैंने उधर ही जिद कर ली कि अभी नहीं को करके दिखाना.
Making a tremendous comeback from her injury, Vinesh won gold in the 2018 Gold Coast Commonwealth Games. She went on to become the first Indian woman wrestler to grab gold medal at the Jakarta Asian Games. She secured her ticket to Tokyo by winning a bronze medal in the 53-kilogram weight category at the Asian Wrestling Championship. Chief coach Tukuldeep Singh Malik remarks that Vinesh is a strong fighter.
विनेश एक बहुत ही दिमागी तौर से मजबूत लड़की है. वो ये दिमाग के अंदर सोचती नहीं कि भाई मेरी कुश्ती इतने बड़े पहलवान से है या कुश्ती है तो बस कुश्ती है.
The government has extended its full support in Vinesh's preparation for the Tokyo Games. Lalema Aneja Dang, Sports Desk.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will likely to have strong surface winds during daytime. Temperature will hover between 30 and 42 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 32 degrees. Chennai is expected to have partly cloudy sky. Temperature will vary between 27 and 34 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. City will observe a minimum temperature of 29 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 34 degrees. Srinagar will experience mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Temperature will hover between 17 and 33 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature will be 27 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 42 degrees. Leh is expected to have partly cloudy sky. Minimum and maximum temperature will be between 9 and 26 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have partly cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 15 and 33 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad sky will be sunny. Minimum temperature will be 19 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 34 degrees. Dehradun will have partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature will be 25 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 36 degrees. Ranchi will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Bengaluru will experience generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will hover between 21 and 29 degrees Celsius.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Moderna COVID vaccine granted permission for restricted use in the country. Over 33 crore COVID vaccine doses administered so far. Country takes lead in vaccination. National recovery rate improves to 96.9%. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar says international cooperation is answer to COVID challenge. India raises issue of drones being used for terror activities at United Nations. National Investigating Agency takes over investigation of drone strike at Air Force Station in Jammu. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says Narendra Modi government committed to deregulation of Indian economy and ushering in systemic reforms. Monsoon session of Parliament to be held from 19th of July to 13th of August. Facebook India and Google India summoned to appear before Parliamentary Standing Committee on Information and Technology. In women's cricket, India take on England in second one-day in Taunton tomorrow. And Euro Cup football, England to take on Germany and Sweden to clash with Ukraine tonight to secure berth in quarter-finals. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.